Hey guys, it's Roxie with Roxie's Broadway Breakdown. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm talking about top songs for altos to sing at auditions. Now, I think this term is sort of being phased out because to me, an alto is just sort of a term that means a girl that can sing low, a woman that can sing low. And I think it's really more either mezzo-soprano or contralto. And the difference being, you know, a mezzo-soprano, especially in musical theater, is really a lot of those female lead characters. It's that voice that sits like deep in the chest, but they can still like hit those huge high notes. They can just belt out those huge high notes. And you think of voices like Patti LuPone or Idina or Susan Egan or Linda Eder, Audra McDonald. And you know, they can hit and belt out those high notes, but they're not like their head voice, that top range isn't ethereal like a soprano. It's definitely, they have that deeper chest voice. And when you describe it in tone and timbre and texture, I mean, those are sort of all intangible terms, you know. But contraltos, more of a rare voice. I don't think of that so much for musical theater. I mean, not that operatic voices certainly aren't soprano and mezzos, but in operatic terms, I think of those as the big, deep, round, chestier voices. Or even in jazz and pop and rock, like Ella Fitzgerald and Cher and Tina and Annie Lennox, you know, that sort of deep gravelly sound, you know, just that really low sound for a female. And so somewhere in there is just like, you toss out alto and you just think you've got a low voice, but there's differences between the two. You know, you've either got that really deep, deep smoky sound, or you've got that nice sort of just chesty sound that can hit some really nice big high notes in a really high range and project those out there. So I have these songs on my list, and they kind of fall in between the two. I mean, I have a video for mezzo-soprano, best songs for mezzo-soprano, but these that I picked, I guess I picked some that they're definitely mezzo songs, but maybe they tend to go even a little bit lower than just typical mezzo songs. I don't know. See what you think. These are the ones on my list. But they definitely have some brighter notes in them, but I think some of them sit a little heavier. So my first one being Cabaret from Cabaret, and the character Sally Bowles does it. Now, I mean, Liza Minnelli's pretty synonymous with this role, and I'd say she definitely has one of those big Broadway mezzo voices that can punch those high notes out, but I put it on the list. All right, so from If Then, and You Learn to Live Without, that the character Elizabeth does. Now, this show Idina was in, so again, Idina, yeah, I put her in mezzo range, but I also think Idina does have one of those sort of deeper voices, you know. I mean, well, she can do anything, but I don't know, I think her voice to me sits a little heavier on she's not contralto, but I would just put her on the lower end of the spectrum, let's say. But then she can hit those amazing, you know, notes like in Wicked. So like I said, she can do anything. All right. From Secret Garden, and the character Martha sings If I Had a Fine White Horse. Now, to me, this song is a little brighter. Maybe not as deep, but she sings it in a broad Yorkshire accent. You know, maybe that's why it sounds so bright when she does it. I don't know if I'd audition doing it in a Yorkshire accent, but maybe that's why it always sounds more nasally when she does it. But I don't know that it sounds low. But again, maybe if you did it without an accent, it would sound deeper in your register. Bells are ringing, bells are ringing. This is a classic show, and I always think you need something classic in your repertoire. And the character Ella sings It's a Perfect Relationship. And I would put this lower, yeah. And from Big Fish, beautiful ballad that Sandra sings, I Don't Need a Roof. Beautiful ballad. So from Chicago, Mama Morton. That is a big personality character. And When You're Good to Mama, to me, that really does take a big voice to pull that off. And big personality, big voice. From Mame, the character Mame. I love Jerry Herman songs. I love the show Mame. I love If He Walked Into My Life, that song. Every time I hear it, I'm like, oh my God, that song. It just gets so big. That's such a big character. You have to fill some pretty big shoes for women that have played Mame, but I do like that song, If He Walked Into My Life. That's a powerhouse song. They're Playing Our Song. The character Sonia sings If He Really Knew Me. I mean, that's lighter than like If He Walked Into My Life. But, I mean, it's, you know, Lucy Arnaz originated that role. And so it's Marvin Hamlish. And so I think that tends to sit kind of there. Listen to it. All right, from Dames at Sea. This is another powerhouse song that Mona sings, that Mr. Man of Mine. I mean, that's a pretty classic song, and that is one of those big old-fashioned belt songs, you know, but to me it always takes a woman with some powerhouse chest voice to pull that one off. And then my last one on the list, because it's coming back to Broadway this season, big revival this season, is Pal Joey, directed by Tony Goldwyn and Savion Glover. Wow, what a team for this revival. Is the character Vera sings Bewitched. And I mean, that's another classic. And I think it could take a classic voice to pull that off. So had to round out the list with that. Anyway, I hope you liked my suggestions. Subscribe to my channel. Check out all my other videos. I'll see you in the next.